cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester.
Oh, yeah, let me turn this on. CMPRadio.net, man. It's your boy, Uncle P. And this is Uncomfortable Conversations, where we take a moment to have a conversation that might seem uncomfortable to others, might be uncomfortable to the person sitting in the room with me, but it's a necessary conversation. Uncomfortable conversations open up opportunities, open up thinking about yourself in a different way. And today we are talking about narcissism. Now, if anybody knows, we did the show on Wednesday, and we were talking about narcissism, and my homeboy, Richard Bly, who will be coming back to do his own show, right? World According to Richard Bly on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. But he talked about narcissism and how it affected him. And you know how I am. I don't like to do it just on one side. I like to have a two-sided coin, right? So now I have a woman here to talk about narcissism, how it affected her, how she made her way out of it. And I want to introduce you to Isla Sharie.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you could make it, right? I see you all on Facebook doing your thing, right?
A mess on Facebook.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In a good way. You have to show your ass. You have to talk about what you want to talk about, right? And be unapologetic about it, right?
Very true.
Uncomfortable conversations, man. And this is what we're doing. We are talking about narcissism and, like how it's a disorder. It's a disease. You get medicine for this, right? You go, yes. But it's a word like many other words. We talked about it on the morning meeting. Diabolical. What's the other word?
Demure.
Demure, right? And we're just throwing them around, and it doesn't necessarily fit who we're throwing them at, or maybe they're not really, I don't know.
Most of the time it doesn't. It's trendy, it sounds well, and we use it.
Diabolical, right?
Half the people using it can't even spell it.
Gaslighting. I'm one of those people. My spelling is off. I haven't. I really haven't, and I thought about it, and Nafati said it on the morning meeting, and she was like, well, I'm reading. I'm always reading. I said, well, I haven't done that in a long time, so, I'll jump back into a couple books, right? I've been so busy, right? But
add it to your resolutions for next year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I will do that.
Start off once a quarter. Don't
try too much.
Exactly.
Right. 20 pages
goals.
a day.
Yeah, you give lofty goals and it doesn't work out.
It said 20 pages a day is 300 books.
Can you do that?
I could probably do that, right? An hour. An hour only take an hour to read 20 pages. It ain't long, right? I'm not reading Peace, Love, and...
You're not reading War and Peace?
There it is. That's the book I'm talking about. Anyway, we're here. How are you feeling?
Amazing.
Yes. Let's talk about narcissism.
Oof.
A narcissist is someone with narcissistic personality disorder. That's a mental condition.
It is.
It is categorized by these four things: an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. How do you feel like you've dealt with narcissists in your life? And how did that look? And how did it feel to you?
Well, I've married 2 people, like I told you, that fit this exact category. So, like I said, you don't realize it's happening in the beginning until you're into the middle of it. People show you different aspects about your relationship, and you step outside of your relationship sometimes, and then you realize you're in a mess, unfortunately. Now, definitely with the inflated sense of self-importance, it's in the beginning, it's hard for me to realize it because I like a certain type of person. Since we're talking about this in the dating aspect, I like someone who is confident or who is sure of themselves. Right. Most of the time, that comes with something else. I like a big personality because I'm a big personality.
Right.
But that also comes with this extra added of narcissism that you may not want to deal with.
So if you have a big personality, why are you looking for somebody with a big personality? They say opposites attract. I think that's the problem. I mean, why don't they? A big personality and a small personality, you get a small personality behind you to push your big personality to the forefront.
That's not for me.
That's not for you? Okay. All right. I get it.
Not for me.
All right.
Because you like someone that can, they walk in the room with confidence. You like someone that you look at them and like they got that extra to them. You want that.
You want that?
For me, yes.
Okay. I get that.
But on the other hand, that also comes with that
narcissistic behavior.
Yeah, because they feel like the world revolves around them. You have to. People who say things like, "I'm able to fix everything."
Oh no, no.
Everyone comes to me for a solution. It's like, do they? Or do you put yourself in the middle of a problem and then try to create? You try to create an answer to something that wasn't even an issue to begin with.
Okay, I like that.
Sticky.
It does get sticky, right?
But I don't think we should categorize everybody with being a narcissist just because they want to be helpful, and there's a difference there. And I think right now, because it is such a buzzword, we're putting certain things on people that we may not, probably shouldn't do. No. In some instances it applies, in some instances it doesn't.
Right. Okay. How did you first realize you were dealing with a narcissist?
After I got a divorce, first time. I didn't even understand what that was. I thought I was in a, just an abusive relationship, not realizing that comes in different forms. Right. And verbal abuse is a thing.
It is.
And it was a controlling tactic in that instance. Whereas you do what I say. This is my way. Because they wanted the praise and the admiration of, you fixed it.
Right.
It wasn't anything wrong or anything broken to be fixed with. But I realized much later. So
what behaviors did they exhibit that you found alarming and manipulative after? Because you got into after that, you got into another relationship. Got married again to another narcissist.
But it was a difference in the personalities. One felt like they had to be in control of everything. The other was a blame shifter, which I found out later is also narcissism. Nothing was their fault. How dare you say I did X, Y, and Z? Wow. It was always but I did this because you did. It's like, is that necessary?
I did that.
Really?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Why though?
I was always the type of person, you change the rules, right? I mean, they really did something, right? That just changed the rules in a relationship. And, I always tell people, just be honest. If you can't be honest, the first time you lie, I'm going to always lie. That all you're going to hear from me is a lie. Because you lied. You shouldn't have lied.
Oh, my.
If you didn't lie, I wouldn't lie to you. And that's petty, and I get it. And maybe it's narcissistic. Maybe they are right? I do have some things that pop up as a narcissist, right?
Do you think that you exhibit any of these traits?
I said the inflated sense of self-importance is not inflated. It's just I believe I'm confident, right? I walk into a room, I'm me. You feel me?
There's a difference between confidence and that inflated sense,
self-importance, right?
Yeah, you're literally creating scenarios to put yourself in the middle of a situation.
I don't do that.
Oh, see, then there you go.
Right. A deep need for excessive attention and admiration. I don't need it. I don't care if one person likes my post or if 5,000 people like my post, right? I care when Facebook writes the check, right? But other than that, I'm doing it for me.
So are you the person that walks into the room and everybody has to speak to you, or you have to make your way to go talk to everyone in the room?
Yeah, I speak to everyone because I know everybody, right?
Or you go out of your way to speak to them, though?
What's out of my? What would be considered out of my way? Explain out of my way. Like jumping over people or kicking people in
Not to that extent, but you're
like Black Friday shopping. No, I don't go out of my way, right? No, but I do want to acknowledge everyone, right, in the room, and I want to make sure I have enough time. I don't want to sit with one person the whole night and have a conversation.
No,
when
not
there's
that.
other people I can meet. So
Well, there's absolutely a difference between mingling, doing those types of things.
Right.
But I mean, legitimately, you're metaphorically speaking, knocking people over
Oh,
to make
no,
sure
no,
you
no.
talk to every single person, and every single person knows what type of day that you have.
No.
See, there's a difference.
Okay. All right. Trouble relationships. I definitely had those.
Why? Were you the issue or the solution?
I think I was the issue and the solution.
That narcissism is rearing its head.
All right. It is. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
The issue and the solution.
Yeah.
How can these two things coexist?
Because you can be.
How? Give me an example.
No.
I need a better understanding of this. How does that work?
No. Okay. So.
It's like the leaky toilet and the stopper at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like,
So
how is that working?
Okay, right. We were talking earlier about the lie, right? That one lie, right? One lie leads to me constantly lying to you, right? So you were the issue, and I felt as though me constantly lying was the solution. You could have walked away. I could have walked away, but we didn't. So there's something that keeps us there in that relationship. I'm not going to say it constantly happened. I say I've only been in 3 relationships my whole life, right?
Okay.
Everybody else, it was just,
Situational.
yeah, it was playing around. It was having fun, right? We
Fair.
enjoyed it, right? But everybody says, even if you have a sexual relationship, it's still a relationship. If you go back more than once, it's now a relationship. So it's like, damn,
I don't like that.
right. So you're telling me I had 55 relationships in my life?
I'm not even claiming that.
Right.
No.
Well, you gotta claim your number for the second go round. Now there are ones that were just one nights, and you feel me, everything was cool. I'm okay with forgetting your number and things that I don't want anybody else to. You had her? No. Right.
I don't even know them.
But one thing, lack of empathy for others. I definitely don't. I don't have that. I know that for a fact. Right.
Is it blatant?
What?
Your lack of empathy.
No, I don't have a lack of empathy.
Okay.
You know, I think I'm too empathetic. I think I feel too much, right? People come to me, they say I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm always there. I'm always supportive. I always show, I can cry with you. I can cry for you.
I commend you for that. A lot of black men would never say that out loud.
What?
That they can cry.
Yeah, I love to cry. I cry. Okay, so my mom passed away this year, my cousin and my grandfather.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, they punched on me. So every morning I go pick my daughter up and drop her off at daycare. And I'm always playing Sounds of Blackness. Now, this week I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and record this every day, right? And just give people why being optimistic is much better than being pessimistic. For a long time, I was a pessimist. That ain't going to work. Nah, you can't do that. Like, I was always saying no to myself. And I just went to this group, and she was like, you need to tell yourself to shut up. You feel me? And from that, it was like, shut up, bro. Like, you can do it. Like, just get it done. Like, is it hard? Absolutely. But you can do it, though.
Right.
Don't bring up all the things that can go wrong. So for me, when I see all these words, I'm like, I can check that off, but I don't lack empathy for others. You feel me? Because I'm there for everybody. I show up. I don't create a situation that I have to show up for.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to flatten your tire and then wait for you to call me and come and fix your tire. You feel me? Like that.
Those types of shenanigans do exist, okay?
But if you call me and you got a flat tire, I'm going to try to show up and help you with it. Right? Even if I'm in my bed. Like, get up. Where you going? One of the mothers of my kids has a flat tire. I got to go. Like, what you mean you got to go? Like, I got to go help her. Right? Now, she could have somebody else, but she called me first, so I'm going to go make sure she's good.
Commendable.
Everybody don't look at it like that.
Why wouldn't you?
No, because then you assume that I'm still sleeping with the mother of my kid.
So life lesson for me.
Uh-huh.
I had someone who did not care if I had to do something for my children. It was all about them. It didn't matter if it was for the dog, the cat, the chicken, my mother, it did not matter. If it wasn't about them, it was a problem. Well, that's why I said I commend you, because people like that fit under this little nice category.
Right. So, after I went to therapy, that's what started the radio station for me. But we're going back to narcissism. We ain't getting into me. We ain't getting into me. Did you notice patterns in their behavior when they didn't get what they wanted? You were just talking about that, right? So what would happen?
First of all, there's phases. There's you have the silent treatment, you have the attitude, and then there comes, both of these cases, becomes the retaliation. It's like, well, I don't want you to go do this with this person because these two things have nothing to do with each other. I had a life before. Well, you shouldn't go hang out with your girlfriends. We should sit in a house and deal with our relationship.
You had a problem with that?
We had 48 hours before now to deal with this, and you chose not to. You wait till I want to go outside.
He didn't want you to go outside.
But that's control, because you had an opportunity for us to have a conversation like two adults.
Yeah, it gets hard sometimes.
But why? You can communicate with me about everything else that you want. You want something sexual? The mouth moves very well.
It does.
But to have a conversation about something important like your feelings, your emotions, how something made you react, then it's, you can't go anywhere. We need to sit down and talk. No.
So you would go out if there was an issue that you had to fix?
We had an opportunity to fix this. It's not like I'm going to ignore whatever the problem is or ignore whatever the red flag is. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to address it in that moment.
So in those 48 hours that you said you had, how many times did you initiate the conversation?
I'm going to initiate it once, because I'm not the person with the issue. You are. You're upset about something because you didn't like what I said, did whatever the case may be, and you had your day of silent treatment. You had your day of your pouting. Why would we go through this? And then it's a cycle, because it continues. Then it's I'm sorry, I love you. You did this. Don't do this again. And then the next situation arises. You do the same thing again. Why are we doing this? Why? When you could have just addressed it the first time and kept it moving. You're dragging this process out.
I get that.
Why?
Control.
Who has time for that? I don't anymore. Right. At the time I did. Right. I didn't understand. It's like,
So did you ever not go out and stay in the house and talk to him, or you went out?
I'm not doing that. You can have that. Now, in the first relationship, I'm not going to lie to you, I did, because, again, I was young. I met this person at 15. I had our son at 18. I was married by 20. Horrible decisions that I was making. So at that time, yes, you stay in the house and you're fighting for your relationship. The second time was like, all right, bro, we're not doing that.
Right. I don't want to say that the decisions you were making were horrible. You were living life, right? Whenever we look back on past situations or relationships, those were learning lessons, right? And if you learn from it, that's good.
Absolutely.
If you didn't, you repeated it. I think I repeated mine about 4 or 5 times. I'm hard-headed.
I've learned to soften my head.
Yeah, I've learned to do the same thing, right? Because it's necessary. But when you were going through analyzing these relationships, were you still, like the second marriage, were you still in it when you realized like these are? Did you seek therapy while you were in your marriage?
Yes, I did.
For both of y'all?
For me. Because this person does not believe in therapy because there's nothing wrong with them. Why would they do that?
Even to save the marriage.
Why would they do that? They're not doing anything wrong.
Hey, man,
which is crazy, because I'm like, hey,
we need to go.
We can fix some things.
Right.
But that wasn't.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Why would I do that? There's nothing wrong with me. Their words, not mine.
Okay. Right. I felt the same way until I actually went and I realized there was a whole hell of a lot wrong with me. Right. And it was hard to deal with that and then see myself as being whole as a person. Mm-hmm. Right. It was like, damn, I just come here, you just cut me up. Yeah. Head over there, arms over there, feet over there, torso over there.
And that takes a certain level of maturity for someone to dissect you as a person and basically dismantle the things that you believe in to try to help you build and live a better life, because we've been doing these behaviors for so long. Some of the things that we do are generational. Right. We don't even realize that we're carrying the burden of our, fathers, mothers, grandparents, because they were doing it. Right. We're watching, our grandmothers grow up and do it, our mothers grow up and do it. And now, in my case, it's like, okay, this is what you do to save a relationship. And it's like, maybe not. Maybe not. What is it worth? And we hear, People talk about our grandparents being together for so long.
If they ain't have Facebook, they would have had Facebook back in the day. There's a lot of grandparents that wouldn't have made it.
My grandparents, and I don't know how old
right.
how far back your family goes, but my grandmother couldn't even have her own bank account.
Right.
So she had to do whatever her husband told her to do, which she taught her daughter, do what your husband tells you to do. And my mom's like, listen, you're supposed to listen to your man. And I'm like, but I'm listening to somebody that's not giving me good advice. I'm listening to someone who isn't following the life that I think I want for myself, and you're trying to derail my plan because it doesn't align with what you want.
So you're saying maybe your grandfather was a narcissist?
Child, I don't know, but I know that there are some decisions that have been made that this Isla of today would have said you have to say.
And I think that's the issue, right? I think back then, people dealt with it, right, and didn't bring, because this thing right here is so much information in this, right? It's so much extra info. This is a library in the palm of your hand. It's a computer. It can do everything. It can look for things. You can fill out paperwork. You can read things. You can read books. You can hear books. You can do a lot of stuff with this phone.
Absolutely.
So I think if we put these phones back when our grandparents were together, and I don't think they would have made it either.
But they were living based on survival. So they're teaching these same survival skills generationally. Okay. We are now in a generation where we have this information, where we don't have to live on survival.
What are we living off of? Because we're not living off of love.
For me, right now, it's based off education.
Oh.
Because I've experienced some life things, unfortunately, like dealing with narcissistic people, I look at things very differently. I am enjoying my single journey. Don't even call my phone wrong, because you will get blocked. Because I don't have the energy to deal with this again. The first sense of that feels like it could be narcissistic, you got to go. I'm sorry.
Seriously?
Absolutely.
You're not going to check and make sure?
No.
That's not good.
If you could see my block list, it's disgusting.
Oh, my God.
And it's just pages of people because I can't. And it's men and women. No.
I ain't got time for it.
I do not have time.
It's hard for me to let go.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
You might want to seek that in therapy.
I already understand I have abandonment issues, right?
Which that definitely obviously plays a role.
Right. So I don't like to let things go, let people go. You feel me? I'm almost like a hoarder.
So
I just don't have it in my car. My car be looking like that sometimes.
Are you serious? No.
I saw this car at Wawa.
The face that you're making is giving absolutely.
Right. I saw this car at Wawa, and I was like, ew. Then I looked at my car, and I was like, ooh. I said, all right, I got to clean my car out. Right?
I can't say anything. For me, the outside might be a little dingy.
Right.
But the inside is immaculate.
Okay.
I can't.
All right, space.
Yeah, I cannot do that.
Damn.
I'm going to need you to clean out your car.
I can't keep doing these uncomfortable conversations.
I need you to clean out your car.
Yeah, it'd be pointing to me too much. That's not good.
Listen, the car wash is what, $10?
No, I get the car wash, no problem.
But they don't do the inside too?
Oh, I ride in the car. I like to ride through the car wash.
Okay. You might want to step out of that for a little while.
I know.
Just
to let them clean it out, right? No, it's typically just, I've run everywhere. I'm constantly on the move. So, I got my daughter's stuff in the car on the side. I got my stuff, the radio station stuff.
How do you survive in the car?
It's nothing in my seat. And I saw that at the Wawa. I mean, this lady had a sea of shit in her car.
Is she living in it?
I don't know. I don't know how she could have. It was everywhere, in her back seat, in her passenger seat. I was like,
I would be itching.
I was like, ew. I said that, ew, and I was like, whoa.
You know what they say when you point a finger?
They more pointing back at
Listen.
you. But it's real, right? And when things like that happen, you got to be able to look at yourself and say, how do I stack up to this situation?
Absolutely.
Instead of judging people, that's why I don't judge anybody. I tell people, I'm not judging you. You feel me? I give you grace. Do whatever you feel as though you need to do to get through. But just be nice to people.
I'm not judging, but I'm looking with the magnifying glass. Do I want to be bothered with that?
You have to. You got to ask that question. If I want to waste my time dealing with this, if I want this around me, I'm trying to learn how to do that.
Listen,
right?
if this situation magnifies in 3 years, would I be okay with that? Good or bad?
Good or bad.
Because if it's something bad and I'm like, if this gets worse, can I be okay with that? No, you got to go today.
You got to go right now.
Because I'm a person who's going to be invested in a situation.
Ooh.
And if I'm given 100% of greatness, and I'm not saying that I'm going to do everything 100% correct. I'm not saying that at all. But I do want to strive to be great. But you're giving me 100% of mediocrity. I don't want that. So I have to look at things quickly and assess. You got to go.
That's deep.
And that comes down to friends, family, heavy on the family. I love them, but there are some people that's like,
no. Yeah, I get that.
Got to go.
I get that.
Because the drama that comes along with it is unnecessary. And I don't need that. I'm old and tired. No, thank you.
Old and tired. Old and tired. That's real. That's real. How did being in a relationship with a narcissist affect your self-esteem and mental health?
Oh, honey, listen, I'm just leaving the big back community because I gained a good 75 pounds. And I didn't even recognize who I was anymore. It's like, how did I get here? I looked at a picture that someone took of me standing next to a car, and I literally did not realize it was me.
I want to see that picture.
Child, I'll show you. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. But I said, oh my God, because I was constantly eating to avoid an argument. I didn't want to argue. I couldn't go outside.
Were you cooking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cooking and eating. Okay.
Cooking and eating because I don't want to go outside. I don't want to because it's going to cause an argument. I don't want to. Everything turned into an issue. And I could have, I'm sure, used that energy for other things, but food was available. It was there. Let's, 2 a.m. making lobsters. It's just ridiculousness. Oh, yeah. Ridiculousness.
So do you think that he found you less attractive when you gained weight, or he didn't have a problem?
He didn't have a problem with it because he knew
that you were standing out.
She ain't going nowhere. Because I wasn't comfortable with me, and I was vocal about the fact that I wasn't comfortable. Like, what is happening? Why am I gaining? Because I'd never been that big. It's like, what is happening to me? Like, why am I eating so much? I was using food as a crutch.
Yes, you were.
Horrible because you needed to survive.
Right.
But I was absolutely using it as a crutch. Because I didn't want to deal with what was going on. Wow. So self-esteem was in the toilet, child.
Self-esteem was in the toilet.
In the toilet. And I was self-sabotaging because it's just like, I just don't want to deal with this. That horrible thing to do. Yeah, no. Eventually I got my life together, but.
Now, how did you get your life together?
I looked at that picture. Right. And it's not that my family did. I love my dad. And he was like, daughter, that's enough. Like, it's unhealthy at this point.
You're tripping.
Right. But looking at that picture, I was like, oh my God. And my daughter said, Mom, you've never been this big. Ever. Okay. But then I will give it to her because today she was like, Mom, you don't have any more back rolls today.
Right.
Shut up.
Thank you.
I worked on it. Shut up.
I worked on it. Right. So you went to the gym.
Heavy. Oh, I cheated a little bit. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I did use phentermine. Now, I'm not saying that everybody should use it.
What's that?
Oh, so it's like a weight loss pill. They were like, hey, you want to lose some weight? Take this. Now, I couldn't do the whole Ozempic thing. But I cheated a little bit. I got a little bit of help.
Okay.
But I did hit the gym heavy and hard.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? It's nothing wrong with using Ozempic. You feel me? If you feel like you want to lose weight. If you have diabetes, you feel me? But, what's the name? Phentermine? Phentermine, right? The doctor prescribed that for you?
Absolutely.
Right. If the doctor give it to you, it's cool.
Listen, there's always a lot of talk about the natural way versus the cheap way. Listen, I needed the weight to go.
And I needed to go, and I needed to go fast.
ASAP.
Right. I got to call my doctor.
But I did put the work in.
Yeah,
I did.
Get back on my Ozempic. Right.
I'm up at 5 a.m. every day.
Every morning. Yeah, if I'm up, I might as well go for a walk. I might as well do something.
Absolutely.
Right. Get my blood pumping.
But it clears your mental for me anyway.
It does.
I definitely listen to a lot more therapists via podcasts and, listening to how to get my life back on track because it was completely derailed.
When you say completely derailed, like, explain.
So I like to go out, and by go out, I'm not a club person, but I like art museums. Okay. I like, I love the beach. Okay. I love to, go out to restaurants, hang out with my friends, and all of that had come to a screeching halt.
He wasn't doing this with you?
No, he didn't want to do anything. He wanted to sit in the house and control. And when I wanted to go out, it was, you must be going out to go be cute for some
so he would make
expletive.
You feel,
and it's like,
make you feel good too.
I'm going outside because I'm going to my girlfriend's house. Must be a dude over there. Ooh. Really?
Well, come with me and find out. I don't want to.
See, I don't want to do all that.
Why not?
We're not
allowed.
No, it's not that you're not allowed, but you don't trust me to walk outside?
It's not about not trusting you to walk outside. It's that we're married and we should do things as a couple.
We should.
Right.
But when our marriage is on the rocks because you don't want to change behaviors, why am I going to break my neck to try to make it better when the things that would make it better, i.e. therapy, you told me were not an option?
Okay.
That's not on your life path.
That's your hard stance. I get that. You got to have one, right? You don't want to go therapy. I don't want to hang out with you, right? I get that.
Because what are we doing?
Yeah. Don't bullshit me.
Right.
Don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining.
Don't tell me it's raining.
Right. That's definitely don't like that. Were there any red flags you noticed early? And we'll do this in the second situation, right? Because you had just got out of a narcissistic relationship, but then you started another relationship, and then it turned into one that had you doing things crazy, right? Yeah. Were there any red flags that you noticed early on but ignored?
Absolutely. There were so many. I'm going to give you a very honest example. Okay. And when you listen to this, you're going to be like, girl, what the? Husband takes the car. He was my fiance at the time. Takes my car because his car was broke down. Crashes the car. You crashed the car, right? This person had a drinking problem, so let me put some context in
Okay,
this.
all right.
This person had a drinking problem. You take the car, crash the car. Backs into the parking spot. The front of the car is completely destroyed. By the time I get home, you're waking up from your stupor, and it was like, I'm asking, like, what happened to the car? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know what you're talking about. I go outside and the bumper is laying on the ground. Well, this person says somebody must have hit it in the parking lot. Sir, your lack of accountability is astounding at this point. Like, how did we get here?
He said he was a drinker. Maybe blacked out. It happens.
You know that you drink. You know that you took the car because your car was messed up. So we're just going to say by process of elimination, you hit something. That's just the elephant in the room. But instead of taking accountability because you are a blame shifter and nothing is your fault, you say,
somebody hit the car.
Somebody else damaged the car to that extent, like almost to the point that you could see the engine.
Right.
Like you crashed the car.
And he got it home?
Exactly.
He was maybe he hit a wall.
Whatever you hit something. No one in the parking lot did that. Huge red flag. And even when I told my dad about the situation, he's like, now, daughter, what you doing? And these are things that I completely ignored. Your lack of accountability with taking, care of your children, lack of responsibility of your own life. And I had the bright idea to think, I can make this better. I can be Mrs. Bob the Builder.
What gets a woman to ignore red flag? I know it gets me to ignore red.
You know what gets a woman to ignore a red flag.
Okay.
You already know the answer to that question.
Okay, well then we're not going to ask that question.
But in your mind, you're like, I can fix this. I can make this better.
I can make this work.
I can help him see the light. No.
He makes me whole.
Yeah, see, I've learned on that. You need to have two whole people come together, not two halves of a person trying to create a whole, which is why I'm still just on team single right now, because I'm not fully whole.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm like 90% there.
Right, and even when you get fully whole, you might want to enjoy being on team single.
Oh, yeah, I will for a little while.
Right, ain't no rush. I tell people all the time, bro, once you realize that you made some mistakes and you haven't really been accountable to yourself. You don't have to be accountable to me. You don't have to tell me anything, but to yourself. Chill with yourself for it. It's okay to be by yourself. I'm not telling you can't do the do. I'm not telling you can't have your people like, okay, listen, I just got you. I don't really want a relationship, but you're cool. We can go out. We can hang out. We can drink.
Oh, no. Remember I told you about that block list? I don't do that. When I mean single and whole, I mean no.
By yourself.
I'm good.
Completely.
There is no roster there. The moment you act like
no, it's no roster, but you don't have somebody in your phone you can call and say, yo, I need my pipes, adjusted.
No, thank you. Because again, that's what causes people to lose sight of all the other things. Because if that situation
you're already saying you're single. I'm single.
But if that situation is amazing and you laying all the pipe and all the things, I may completely forget all the red flags.
Oh, he ain't gonna let you forget because ain't no man gonna sign up for a relationship that the woman said she didn't want in the beginning.
Yes, they do. Because the second one, he asked me several times and I kept saying, I don't want to date you. I don't want to be with you. I don't want to do this.
That's what y'all was doing to do?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
See how these convolute things? It muddies the water. So it's like, you know what? I'm good.
Okay.
Just, Because you could say one thing.
I get it.
And then everything else say something else.
Okay, I get that. How did you eventually distance yourself or end the relationship? Because you said it was 3. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the third one. How did you get out of that situation? Because you didn't marry him.
No.
Right? But you just said, fuck this shit.
Basically, we just had to have the uncomfortable conversation. It's not you.
It's me.
It's me. And the reason why it's me is because I want more than what you can provide.
Ooh.
I want more than what you can currently do to assist in life for me.
Ooh.
So we need to go our separate ways. I'm not even going to put this on you. It's me. My expectations are higher than what you can provide.
Damn. That hurt.
I'm not trying to say to be hurtful, but it was the truth. And I don't want to put you in a situation where you feel like you always have to try to meet a standard that I know you can't meet. Why do that? I'm going to let you live your life. It's fun. But have a good day. Don't say it's mean.
That is.
Is that mean or is that honest?
I think, in all honesty, there's pain for someone.
Sorry.
Right? When you're honest, right? When you're honest about what you're doing, how you feel, what you see, right? There's pain in there for someone, right? But the fact that you had the ability to say, right, you're not meeting my need. I need for this to be a lot better, to run a lot smoother, to feel, to smell, to look. Absolutely. I get that, right?
And those immediate red flags of I didn't do that. That was you. That wasn't me. It was like, oh, this is very familiar. You know what? Got to go.
I got to pull away.
Immediately.
Did you ever try to confront the narcissist about their behavior? And if so, how did they respond? No?
Do you ever watch the movie 300?
Yeah.
So remember when Menelaus was about to kill Xerxes?
Right.
And he was standing there with his arms out, and he was breathing in all the energy because he thought Menelaus was bowing down to him. That's how those conversations go.
Ooh.
Why would you do that? Now, in the end, Xerxes didn't know he was about to be killed. That's why Menelaus was bending down like that. But in his mind, it's like, she's coming to me. She's telling me what she needs. I got her now. It's like, why are we doing this? We're not even going to discuss this.
The fact that you know the characters in 300, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I don't want to say the average woman doesn't know anything.
Hey, that is a good movie.
It is.
It is a great movie.
I watched that movie so many times.
But see, I have a point of reference now.
Yeah.
When people ask me, what is it like being with this type of person? It's like, did you ever see this movie?
Yeah. No, I never. Oh. But no, that's real. What advice would you give to someone currently dealing with a narcissist?
Leave immediately. Right now. Like, put on your best Nikes, your best On Clouds, and run. There is no saving them. There is no helping them. There is no redemption. Run.
I get that. You don't want them to talk and try to they can save their relationship if they talk about it.
But if someone wants to save something, they would save themselves, right?
Ain't no saving a narcissist, for real.
So
honestly.
then what are we saving? Run.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Because they'll never admit to it. This is the thing. They'll
Exactly.
never admit to what you say they're doing. It'll never be their fault. It's always your fault. It's always what you do.
Who wants to deal with the constant beat down of it's me? No. Sometimes it's not me, it's you. It's the situation. These two things just don't mix. Like, I feel like all narcissists should join a Facebook group together and they can date each other and leave the rest of us alone.
That'll be a lot of people.
Great.
That
means you have a large test subject to deal with. But leave the rest of us who just try to live normal lives, leave us alone.
Yeah, I had my therapy session yesterday, and I asked her, I said, do you have a way to test people to see if they're narcissists? She was like, why you keep asking me about this narcissist? I said, because I got people around me that say that That's who I am, right? That's the energy that I give off. So she said, the fact that you care about what they said says that you're not a fucking narcissist.
Exactly. Because they do not care.
If you didn't care, then I would say you're a fucking narcissist. But the fact that you care, like that, no, I'm not giving you no test on that. Like, no.
They take it as a badge of honor if you say that to them. Like, really? Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like, this isn't a compliment. This is not a participation award. What are you doing?
Oh, that's a bad thing too. Participation awards. I want to do away with those.
Well, you can't do that anymore because that's.
Well, say if you want to make America great again, bring back paddles in school, right? Throw away the participation awards, the participation trophy, all that stuff, and just discipline your children, right? You want to make America great again. That's how we do it. I don't.
Yeah. Well, my children grew up with that generation. We didn't do the gentle parenting thing, so I don't.
No, don't do that, Bobby.
And I see other people's children in the store. I'll be ready to, ooh. It's like, get your kid.
No, no.
Get your child.
I remember I was in Kmart when Kmart was still open.
Good times.
And my daughter, I think Taylor was like 2. And I went to Kmart and I saw this little, clear kid was talking to the mom. The mom was saying, don't do that. I don't remember what I'm going to say, Bobby. Don't do that, Bobby. He was like, what you mean don't do that? Don't do that. I'm going to tell your dad. He said, I don't care. He said, Daddy's home with Aunt Susan anyway.
A child of color would have had no teeth and it'd have been getting picked up off the floor.
So,
I'm not saying that disciplining your children in that facet.
I wanted to ask her, who's Aunt Susan?
You
feel me? Because
and why does he know about it?
Because if that's your sister, then, but if that's your friend and he just calls her Aunt Susan.
Either way, they all recognize.
I left with a lot of questions. You feel me? But I said it even happens over there, right? It's cool. That's just what happens. I'd
have been like, since y'all putting y'all business out here, let me know what's really going on.
And that's the thing. That's the problem. When you put all your business out, people want to know more. Don't just put out a little bit. Go ahead, Bobby. Keep talking.
Keep going. That's like people that post stuff and it's like, just pray for me. Don't ask why. Nah. What am I asking for?
What am I praying for?
Did you do something foolish and you're trying to get the Lord to get you out of it? Because I'm not praying for that.
Yeah, that's typically what's going on.
Yeah, no, I skip right on past those. I don't even like them no more. I just keep on scrolling.
For you to be in the space that you are right now, you had to go through some difficult times.
Very.
What was the most challenging part about recovering from a relationship with a narcissist?
Gaining your self-worth back.
Gaining your self-worth back. Explain how that happened.
Because I can't speak for all. I can't give it a general blanket statement, but I was emotionally beaten down to a pulp where it was, you do everything wrong. I never had someone use my zodiac sign against me.
Ooh.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And it was like, you're doing this because you're a Taurus. It's like, I went to walk the dog. Like, what do you mean?
You're walking the dog like that because you're a Taurus?
Everything.
You're a Taurus?
I am a Taurus.
My mom was a Taurus.
Hey.
High five.
But everything was because you're a Taurus. It's like, what?
Damn.
So literally everything was a weapon against me. Why you wearing red lipstick? Why you do your hair like that?
I like red lipstick.
Why'd you do that? It's like, what? So then you really are gaining who you are as a person again. And I was in these relationships for a very long time. I was with this person since 2013 till 2020. The pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Space. You got to get space in between. It's the third one, right?
I had a nice little space in between, but it gave me, the relationship ending gave me clarity to move forward. And that's wrong to say, like your marriage ended, but you gained clarity.
Well, that was your marriage that ended in 2020. All right. And the last relationship, when did that?
2020 and 2021. It was a jump in situation, and then it was like, ooh, jump out.
Right, you put your right foot in.
And pull it right back out.
Right.
Like, this is not for me. No, thank you.
If you had to do it all again.
No.
You wouldn't do it again?
No. Now, I have my children out of the first marriage, so I do love them very much.
Right.
But they also have to deal with the effects of this person. I no longer have to deal with them in that capacity.
Right.
But they do. And they're adversely dealing with the effects of my decisions.
So accountability is like
Non-existent
when it comes to a narcissist, right? They're not going to be accountable. They're not going to say sorry. They're not going to try to mend fences. They're not going to try to fix anything, right?
When you say things to your children like, you didn't call me, so I didn't call you.
Now,
really?
No, I'm gonna keep it funky. My parents, my grandfather, right? I don't know. Back in the day, you had to call your elders, bro. You don't know they have less time here, so I never had a problem with saying that. I say that to my kids. You ain't calling me. What am I calling you for as a father?
You just said that you're a father.
But why am I calling you? To check up on you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't they call me if they got a phone? They calling their friends.
If you have a good relationship with your children, why wouldn't they call you, and why wouldn't you call them?
Right.
Not to attack your relationship with your kids.
No. My relationship with my kids are.
But I'm saying, why wouldn't you want to have that bridge of communication with them? You don't wake up and think about your kid?
I do, but I gotta go.
Text is 30 seconds.
Go to work. I gotta do this. I don't get
throughout your day. You don't text a female that you want to talk to.
No.
You don't text anybody that you want to have a conversation with.
Outside of business.
So you make time for that, but a 2-second, hey, I love you.
Oh, I always do that.
Okay, they don't get that because you didn't call me,
right? So
I'm not calling you.
Right. But you have to put forth an effort. I have less time. I have more time here than I do remaining. Right? I think I'm not going to live until I'm 90 years old. I don't think I'm right. So they have more time here than they had. Right?
Well, so be clear, all of our time is limited because people are being unalived walking down the street.
True.
So I think you should make every day count. And unfortunately for my children, they are suffering because this person feels like, well, why should I have to? You should come to me because that's that whole lofty, they come to me, they listen to me, they worship me. It's like,
it's the father.
You're handing out poor advice and that's why they don't talk to you.
Yeah, I get that.
But if you took accountability for the fact that you don't give the best advice, they may have a better relationship with you. But these are decisions that I made that are trickling down to them. See, that's that generational thing that my mom I was telling you before. My grandma messed up. My mama messed up. And now I'm telling my daughter, don't do that. If you see a red flag, don't do that.
Are you telling your children, your daughters, to be strong?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
That it's okay to reach out and say?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. I do not want that strong black woman narrative. I don't want that.
Right. I get that.
I will fall out. I can't do this.
I can't do this. I can't do this by myself.
I don't want to. I can. I don't want to.
When you say you can you do it to the point of getting rid of your last relationship and telling him he wasn't doing enough, or you got it? You got everything.
I'm good. I could take care of myself. I could sustain myself. I can live on my own. I have done it. I've managed my household financially by myself. I can do those things. Right. I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want that, like I said, that strong black woman, no.
Question about the household. You got a problem going 50-50, or you need a man to come in and take care of everything?
I do not have a problem with 50-50, and I know somebody is going to be mad about this, and I don't care, okay? First of all, let's be very, for me personally, I have a particular taste. I am a very much so fan of black men. I will never, ever, 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 ever date outside of my race. Okay. The average black man in America makes $50,000. Right. That is the average. Right. How do you expect a man to take care of you 100% and he making $50,000 a year? Even if he's making $100,000 in these inflated streets, you need some help.
And let's just say he has kids.
Exactly.
Would you date a man with kids?
Absolutely. Okay. I'm in a particular situation because I'm 40. I had my kids young and now my kids are grown. Right. So I don't have a problem with dating a man with children. I have a problem with dating a man with children who don't take care of them. If you have kids that you don't take care of, ding. If you have kids that you don't see, you don't communicate with, I don't know. You can go. You're blocked. But I absolutely don't have a problem with 50-50. All right. I don't. But this is another reason why it has led to my solitude. I'm not having the what do you bring to the table conversation.
So if a man asks you that, you feel offended?
I'm going to get up from the table because if you don't see my value and you don't see what this can be, why are we having this conversation?
I think sometimes men just, we're vocal.
Keep listening to Kevin Samuels. That's what you do.
No, I'm not.
And we see what happened with that.
Yeah, they killed Kevin Samuels.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It wasn't the Red Bulls he was drinking every day, though.
No, it was the girl on top of him.
That was plus size.
She was plus size?
You didn't see that picture? She wasn't a size 2, 6, or a 4, I tell you that.
Well, most men talk about it and can't pull it. Like,
And you're leading a generation of men telling you that that's what you should want. He's telling you to date younger women who don't know the signs of a stroke, yet you had one from drinking Red Bulls. He's telling you to date women who are younger, who make potatoes out of potato chips on TikTok.
Who?
Kevin Samuels. He was saying, date the young girls. They can't even write in cursive. That's what you want? You had a whole stroke and that girl sat there and watched you because she was young and didn't know anything. But a woman at 40, she's old, washed up, and she hit the wall.
No.
Me and this wall gonna have a good conversation.
I get it now. I did my young situation, and it wasn't on her. It was on me, right? It was.
At least you owned it.
Yeah, it was. It was on me. I got into building a radio station, so I didn't have time to give to the relationship.
Did you go back and fix it?
I tried, but I was still I'm still building a radio station, right? So it's like I can go back and fix it. I can be here, but I got to run back out, right? I can be accountable. I could give you this, but I got to run back out to get more. I don't have a.
But she should have some understanding. I don't know this person, but she should have some sort of understanding that you are building a life.
Yeah, I put a post up probably last week where I said the one mistake that I made was not including her from the beginning and keeping her here, right? Because not doing that, a veil dropped in between the radio station and us, and what you're doing on the other side, right? Yeah. And then when you start to speculate and get mad and you get to throwing names and you get to doing things, and I'm like, well, shit, that's what she want me to. That's how I feel, right? Once a woman accused me of cheating, I'm like, all right, I'm good, I can cheat. And you're already accused of me, and I'm still in this situation.
Oh, we are so alike in that. Now, I didn't cheat, but I always said, let me not make a liar out of you.
Right.
Let me give you what you asked.
Oh, I know you doing this. Oh,
really?
For real? What's up, baby?
That's so horrible.
What's going on?
See, I didn't have the energy for that, though. I would just say, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't anymore. I don't.
I love how you added the anymore.
I don't. I used to. Right? Used to.
I can't. I'm old and tired.
Boy.
Go on, sir.
Look,
listen.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I'll fall asleep. 3 o'clock. I don't care where I am.
Firm believer of the 9 p.m. bedtime, honey.
Up early. Up early. Exactly. Early to bed, early to rise.
There you go.
My grandma used to say it. I never understood how true it was until one day I found myself in the bed. Getting cozy. I'm like, I'm going to sleep.
Listen, happily, like I already know.
Up at 4:30.
9 o'clock, I'm good.
No problem. If I go to bed at 9 o'clock, I'm up at 4:30.
There you go.
Right? So, it's necessary.
It is.
But narcissists, man. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is a mental condition. We can throw the word out to people that appear to have it, but we have to look at it deeply and wholly, right? Because you can't be labeling people and they're not narcissistic. Just because people throw things up. I mean, Rich Bly was in here. He was like, I've lived a life that has led me to believe certain things. Mm-hmm. And when you ask these questions, because, we can do the full narcissistic personality inventory. It's MPI. It contains 40 questions, right? I like to be the center of attention. Answer this. You like to be the center of attention?
No.
False. I often fantasize about having power and influence.
No.
I expect others to recognize my accomplishments and give me praise.
No.
I am preoccupied with success, power, and achieving greatness.
Yes.
Yes, right? I believe that I am special and should associate with people of higher status.
No.
Now, how you going to do better? They say, if you hang around millionaires, you hang around 5 millionaires, you become the 5th. If you hang around 5 idiots, you become the 5th, right? So you got to hang around people that are higher than you, right? So. Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that's your.
But you don't believe that you are
circle.
Special.
Yeah, no.
Right. Okay. All right.
No.
Right.
There's nothing more stand out about me than anyone else that is around.
I get that.
Everyone has their own qualities, their own traits that make them unique. Okay. That doesn't mean I'm the most uniquest of the bunch. I'm not the most special of the bunch.
Right. I get that. I want to thank you for stopping through, for having this conversation. Anything you want to say before you get up out of here?
If you have a narcissist in your life, run.
Run.
Quickly.
Damn. Listen, man. It's Uncle P's uncomfortable conversation, man. We were talking about narcissism in relationships. Like she said, if you know one, if you're in a relationship, if you can't get him to admit and he can't take accountability, or you can't get her to admit or take accountability or apologize. Like, that's really, so like if she did something wrong and she ain't said, I'm sorry.
And mean it.
Not just sorry just to say it, but like have a conversation afterwards.
And change the behavior, because that's an apology. Saying I'm sorry is one thing.
But change the behavior.
Change your behavior. The action behind it is the true apology.
Listen.
Just saying.
It's real. It's real. CMPRadio.net, man. It's your boy, Uncle P. This was Uncomfortable Conversations. I want to thank our guest, Isla Sharie, for stopping through and having this conversation. I appreciate it. Thank you for being an open book.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving it to our people. Again, man, you can catch this live on YouTube, the replay on YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe to our page on YouTube. Like, follow, and subscribe to our page on Facebook. Again, this is CMPRadio.net. It's your station. It's the people station. It's the station. Peace. Oh, yeah. Community Day. I'm sorry. Yep. She definitely got me all up on that. October 26th, man. We're bringing together Nafatee's food truck, Solo Subs. I gotta find. See, this is what happens when you go crazy. It's up there. The flyer's up there. Right. Thank you. Free Community Day and voter education. We got Naj B on the ones and twos, in-person voting. We got games, food, drinks. Saturday, October 26th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Laborers Local 413 Union Hall. That's 222 Penn Street, Chester, PA 19013. Free groceries, free giveaways upon checking your voter registration status. Please bring your ID. Listen, if you don't bring your ID, you can't get no groceries, right? If they can't check your status, they can't get you groceries. So that's all related. They're not giving you groceries to vote. They're not giving you groceries to vote for a particular person. They want to make sure you're registered to vote so that you can get the free groceries. Now, understand when people hear free grocery, they're like, they ain't giving out. No, the person in charge of grabbing the groceries understands the things that they give out when they give out free groceries. And he's up there today getting good stuff, right? Food. I told him get tuna fish, right? You can make tuna fish. It's canned tuna fish, right? Bread, milk, right? Make sure the bread has a week or two on it, right? Don't give me no bread or milk that's going to expire in the next 3 days. Like, I got to eat it now, right? I don't want it right now, right? But, say what? There you go, right? Always freezing stuff. No. Freeze it if you have a couple weeks on it. Please don't freeze it if it expires tomorrow. That doesn't make sense, because you're not going to be able to drink it that fast. And when it thaws out, it's going to go bad, right? So you talking about freeze it.
Freeze bread. You can freeze bread.
You can't freeze bread.
I know you can. You can freeze bread. I know. I try all the time, right? But shuttles will be provided to the satellite election office for in-person voting. Listen, just make sure you RSVP. Scan this QR code on here and call 484-734-0437 for shuttle info or question. You can also text. Our main man, Eddie Boyd, is in charge of the transportation, so you can text him and get his ride information. I'm trying to pull up his number right now. Right, you can text him at 267-248-6501. Text him your address. Let him know you're coming out, right? We're giving rides. We're trying to get you here. We're trying to get you to understand the importance of voting, right? If you don't vote, you can't say anything. And my man Gio said it the other day. Non-voting is a vote for the affirmative, right? So you're okay with the way things go. Right now, this is just my personal opinion. right? And I'm going to give it to you real quick. Donald Trump and his plan is to rob us of everything great. Everything that we've done, everything that we can do, he wants to knock us down a couple pegs. That's making America great again. I don't recall a time when America was great, right? Because my people were suffering throughout this whole great whatever they're talking about. I recall a time when they were great, when we weren't allowed to eat at the table next to them. We weren't allowed to use the bathroom, drink the water, right? When our kids couldn't look at them, right? And they were beating our kids up and doing things. Like, I went to the African American History Museum last Saturday. That joint rocked me.
You went to the one in D.C.?
Yes.
Ugh.
On the first, I was on the basement floor, and I was like, yo,
I will never go down there again.
No, you got to, right? Because we don't know what's going on. We don't know how we feel.
It pulls at your heartstrings, and when I saw that Klan thing, I wanted to throw up. Like, we're good.
It's not the first time I've ever been in a museum that talked about this stuff, right? Because I went to the museum in Tulsa, Black Wall Street, right? That's the same way. I felt it on the other side of the train tracks. Like, I could feel the fire. I could hear the kids crying. Like, I started crying. I was like, oh, man, because when you think about it, like, children were killed that day.
Absolutely.
For no reason. Women were killed that day. Men were killed that way. Businesses were burned down. And then you build a highway over here.
Yeah.
And put a baseball field on the side and say, well, yeah. So for me,
greed and hate.
It's all about that, right? And no, do I want to knock the Republican Party? Absolutely not. It's only one person that's in charge of it right now. And for him to push that hate that way, for him to be able to get men to go up in the Capitol and run up on Congress and do what they did January 6th, and he still has the right to run?
The fact that you have felonies and you can run, yet a lot of states' felons can't vote. And his plan for police being able to do what they, air quote, want, that's targeted for black and brown people.
That's all it is.
It's literally putting a target on our back.
Right. So, right.
Yes.
So pay attention to who's running. Pay attention to who you want running your country. It is your country. You're here. You pay taxes. It's yours.
And it's not just your country. Please don't just vote for the president and not vote for everything else.
Give it to him.
Everything else matters just as much. If not, it impacts you faster.
Yeah, the local election.
Yes.
And stop putting popular people in there. They don't know what the hell they're doing. This is not school. This is not school election. When you were in school, it was cool to put the popular person up because they couldn't do anything.
Exactly.
Now you're putting people up there just because you like the way they smell or you like the way they dress or you like what they... No. What does he do for us?
But your roads are horrible. Your children's schools are underfunded.
Them kids is bad. No, I'm joking.
But also look at,
But I ain't joking.
Where's the money coming from?
I mean, they get paid. IEP come through that.
Depending on who's in charge, they're getting paid.
Right.
And the money's not trickling down to the teachers, to the educators, to the children.
I say the teachers should be getting paid way more money than they do.
Way more money.
They should be looking at $100,000 a year. That's how you get more teachers to want to be teachers, by paying them more money. You're
paying them more money for more headache. You're paying them less money for more headache.
Oh. Because I couldn't do that for no $35,000. Boy, you crazy? I'm out of here.
And half these parents don't want to do with their own kids, yet you send them to school and you want to pay somebody $20,000 to do it with your kid all day.
I say, bring back beating. I said that. I bring back the paddle. I broke my belt today. I got a Gucci belt. I got to go back, take it back to Gucci. I broke my belt. I was going to take it off. And seriously. I said, boy, stop playing. And then pop. I was like,
Wow.
That's what I get.
I commend teachers.
I do.
I don't have the patience.
A lot of respect, bro. It's hard. It's hard to get the kids to sit down. It's hard to get the kids to pay attention. It's hard to get the kids to do a certain thing.
For those participation awards.
And once they don't respect you,
it's over.
It's over. It's over. You won't get anybody to do anything. So I give a major shout out to all the women, all the men out there that are teachers, that are in charge of schools, that are running schools. I know for a fact it is not easy. CMPradio.net, man. This is Uncomfortable Conversations. I want you to have a great day on purpose. Tomorrow is Saturday. What's going on tomorrow? Nothing?
They having that block party at Duos.
On Sunday? Right. The 20th. Come on, man.
It's on Sunday.
What you thinking about Tuesday? The haunted house.
You were at work.
Right.
They are not the same.
It definitely ain't. They all the same. They're a day. The haunted house, man. Trunk or treat. Infinite Men of Honor is putting on their trunk or treat as usual. But we got a twist. We are combining our efforts with the good brother Devin Walls to bring it to Indigo Mills. Inside of this building, it will be a haunted house. And I think that's dope, right? We want to give a major shout out to our sponsors, the Tripoli Foundation, Safe Corridors, and G-Von, right? Thank them for all their work to make sure that this trunk or treat goes off like every other trunk or treat without any incidents, man. We will have rides to and from, right? And we'll be talking more about that information in the next couple of days. I'll be posting about that. But that's what's going on in the community. Again, August 26th, make sure you're at the local union hall. August 20th, make sure you're over here at Duos. And why I keep saying August and y'all not correcting me. October 26th, labor union. October 20th, Duo Taco. October 31st, Halloween, Indigo Mills, man. Listen, we're trying to put these things together for our children so our children understand who they are, so they can see who they are. I don't agree with Halloween. I don't really fool with it, but I don't have a problem with it because the kids love it. They love to dress up. I don't see kids dressing up as demons. I see them dressing up as cartoon characters and things like that. So I don't have a problem with that. So listen. Let us help you. Come help us. It's cmpradio.net. It's your boy, Uncle P. I want to thank our guest, Isla Sharie, for stopping through and letting us know what a narcissist look like. Even though she didn't know the first time, second time.
I'm fully aware now.
Now she knows.
Those rose-colored glasses have been removed, honey.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Leslie, take us up out of here, man. cmpradio.net. Uncomfortable Conversations. Peace.